Imagine if the entire economy of a massive country was built on hats. Not just any hats. Fancy, waterproof, beaver butt adjacent hats. Seriously, Canada exists because of fashion victims in London. Welcome to Canadian Chronicles. Today we're talking about the fur trade, Canada's original side hustle that got way out of hand. In the 1600s, Europe had a problem. They were obsessed with fashion, but their hats were garbage. They needed something that could handle rain and looking fire at a royal ball. Enter the Canadian beaver. Why beavers? Because their fur has microscopic barbs. It's basically nature's Velcro. When you mash it together, it makes the perfect waterproof felt. It's like 17th century Gore-Tex. To make these hats, they used mercury. Yes, mercury. This literally gave the hatters brain damage. It made them go crazy, giving us the term mad as a hatter. Totally worth it for the drip, right? Europeans were literally losing their minds for these hats. It was the absolute height of high society drip. This was a massive partnership. Indigenous groups traded furs for metal pots, blankets, and tools. It was a complex web of social and economic alliances that shaped the entire continent. This wasn't just business. Scottish and French traders married Indigenous women, leading to the birth of the Métis people. They became the true backbone of the trade. The ultimate guides, translators, and explorers. The new nation was born. Now let's talk about the absolute units of the trade. The Voyageurs, the long-haul truckers of the woods. You'd think these guys were giants. Nope. HBC preferred short kings, about 5'4". Why? Because long legs took up too much valuable cargo space in the canoes. Short and unstoppable. The Montreal canoe was the heavy-duty freighter. It carried 4 tons of gear and 12 pork-eater crew members. But the North canoe was the rugged off-roader. It was built for narrow, rapid-filled rivers in the deep interior. And then there was the express canoe, the 19th century private jet. 100 miles a day with just mail and big bosses. Their diet? 6,000 calories of salt pork and dried peas. Basically a lard smoothie every single day. You needed that grease to power through an 18-hour workday and not freeze to death in a Canadian winter. Then things got violent, not just over furs, but over lunch. Welcome to the pemmican war. Pemmican was the fuel. Lean bison meat, fat, and berries. 3,500 calories in a single pound. The ultimate protein bar. Lord Selkirk bought a chunk of HBC and built a colony right on the Northwest Company's food supply route. Bold move. In 1814, they issued the Pemmican Proclamation, banning food exports. To the NWC and Métis, this was economic war. The Métis were masters of the bison hunt. They'd reload their guns at a gallop by spitting lead balls into the barrels. Absolute savages. Their secret weapon, the Red River cart. It could be taken apart to cross rivers and carry thousands of pounds of pemmican. It all came to a head at the Battle of Seven Oaks, a 15-minute skirmish that changed everything. Governor Semple and his men were wiped out by the Métis. It was a decisive victory that solidified a national identity. Lord Selkirk didn't give up. He hired a literal army of Swiss and German mercenaries to retake his fort. It was absolute chaos. To make it worse, a volcano erupted in Indonesia, causing a year without a summer in 1816. Snow in July. Food was worth dying for. The companies were burning boats and kidnapping each other. The British government finally had to force them to merge in 1821. And they didn't use money. They used made beaver. 1 prime pelt was the standard unit of currency. 14 beavers for a gun. Fun fact, traders loved beaver-tail, but the church banned meat on Fridays, so they called it fish. When food ran out, they ate rock tripe, a lichen that tastes like rubbery dirt and causes digestive explosions. Not for the weak. Those famous striped HBC blankets? The black lines are points. They told you exactly how many beaver pelts the blanket was worth. Wearable money. But then, disaster. Some guy in London wore a silk hat. Suddenly beaver hats were cringe. Out of style. Finished. Over. The entire economy almost collapsed because of one guy's hat choice. But it actually saved the beavers from extinction. Talk about a glow-up. The fur trade is why Canada exists. It mapped the country and built the cities we live in today. All thanks to a weird fashion trend. So next time you see a beaver, say thanks. They built this place. Just be glad you're not eating rocks. I'm your host for Canadian Chronicles. If you like this massive deep dive into our weird history, hit that subscribe button. Stay curious, stay spicy, and stay Canadian. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.